My dear students, welcome to Department of Chemistry, Sri JCBM College Sringeri. I am Devdas K, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. So in my last class, we have seen thermal methods of analysis. Under that, we have seen thermogravimetric analysis. So that is TGA. So we can recap these certain things that we have studied in the last class. So what is meant by thermal methods of analysis? When a matter which is heated, it undergoes certain physical and chemical changes. These changes that take place when an unknown sample is heated, which provide us with information which helps us to identify the material. So there are several methods that we have seen. So under that, the important methods that we have seen in the last video class, so that is thermogravimetry. So in that, the parameter measured is the mass. Then we have seen derivative thermogravimetry. Here also the parameter measured is the mass. So next, differential thermal analysis. We have here the change in temperature is measured. Then differential scanning colorimetry. Here also the enthalpy, the change in enthalpy which is measured. So next we have seen thermogravimetric analysis. So what is meant by thermogravimetric analysis? It's a technique whereby weight of substance in an environment heated or cooled at a controlled rate is recorded as a function of time or temperature. So then different types of thermogravimetric analysis we have seen. So first one, isothermal or static TGA. Second one is quasi static TGA. Third one is dynamic TGA. So these three things we have seen. So next, the principle of TGA also we have seen. It's a technique in which the change in mass of a substance with the temperature over a period of time is followed. The temperature is increased at a constant rate for a known initial weight of the substance, and changes in the mass are accurately recorded at different times. The next we have seen the instrument. So the instrument used for TGA analysis is a programmed precision balance for a rise in temperature, which is called as a thermobalance. So different parts of the thermobalance we have seen, that is microbalance, sample holder or crucible, so then furnace, heater, boiler or oven. So next, temperature measurement. So next one is the recorder. So these things we have seen. So next, the recording of result also we have seen. The results are displayed by a plot of mass change versus temperature or time, and which is known as the TG curves. So here in the case of TG curve, the horizontal portion indicate the regions where there is no loss of mass, and the curved portion indicate mass losses. So in that, the specific example also we have seen, that is calcium oxalate monohydrate. So calcium oxalate, thermal decomposition of TGA of thermal decomposition of calcium oxalate monohydrate. So at 200 degrees Celsius, the calcium oxalate monohydrate loses the water of hydration. At 500 degrees Celsius, so this calcium oxalate which decompose to give calcium carbonate plus carbon monoxide. At 800 degrees Celsius, calcium carbonate which decompose to give calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So next we have seen applications of TGA also we have seen. So which is used in investigation suitable weighing forms for many elements, and testing purity and thermal stability of materials, and the correct drying temperature of precipitates which is used in gravimetric analysis. Then direct applications, many applications to analytical problems, and the determination of composition of complex mixtures and the analysis of alloys, and the corrosion studies, etc. that we have seen. So today we will see the differential thermal analysis. So what is meant by differential thermal analysis? So here the differential thermal analysis, it's a method for recording the difference in temperature between a substance and an inert reference material as a function of temperature or time. In DTA, both test sample and an inert reference material undergo a controlled heating or cooling program, which is usually linear with respect to time. There is a zero temperature difference between sample and the reference material when the sample does not undergo any chemical or physical change. When the reaction takes place, then a temperature difference delta T will occur between the sample and the reference material. When the sample melts or dehydrated, the sample temperature is lower than that of the reference material. On completion of reaction, the sample will again show the zero temperature difference compared with the reference. A differential thermogram consists of a record of the differences in sample and reference temperature, differential temperature delta T, plotted as a function of time T or sample temperature Ts or reference temperature Tr or furnace temperature Tf. The DTA curve, a typical DTA curve appears as shown in the figure, in which there is an exothermic and an endothermic peak. Both the shape and size of the peak may furnish the good information about the nature of test sample. Here, in this case, the sharp endothermic peaks give ideas of changes in crystallinity or fusion processes. Broad endothermic peaks signify the dehydration reactions. In most of the cases, physical changes give rise to endothermic curves, whereas chemical reactions like oxidation give rise to exothermic peaks. As shown in the figure, the DTA curves reveals several features related to physical and chemical changes that occur due to increase in temperature, namely glass transition, crystallization of amorphous phase exothermic, melting endothermic, oxidation exothermic, and decomposition of the materials. Next, instrumentation of DTA. The various components of DTA apparatus are furnace. This device is used for heating sample. Second one is the sample holder. This is used to contain the sample as well as the reference material. So third one is the DC amplifier. Generally, a low level DC amplifier is employed. So fourth one is the differential temperature detector. The function of this detector is to measure the differential temperature. So next one is the furnace temperature programmer. So here the main function of this is to increase the temperature of the furnace at a steady rate. So next one is the recorder. This is used to record the DTA curve. So next one, the control equipment. Its function is to maintain a suitable atmosphere in the furnace and sample holder. So you can see a schematic diagram of a typical DTA apparatus. So here the furnace, sample holder, DC amplifier, then differential temperature detector and furnace temperature programmer, recorder and control equipment. Then applications of TGA. So here to construct the phase diagrams and study phase transitions. So to find the heat of reaction. So next, the curves obtained by differential thermal analysis for two compounds are not identical. Therefore, this technique can be used as a fingerprint for different materials. So next, fourth one is identification of products. Products which are formed when a compound reacts with another compound can be easily identified by the curves obtained by means of differential thermal analysis. So next one is the melting points. as melting point can be easily determined by this method, by DTA method, it means that this technique can be used as a direct check for the purity of the compound. So next one is to identify the composition of mixed clays, minerals, polymeric materials and thermal stabilities of the inorganic compounds. In the determination of heat of fusion and specific heat on a variety of inorganic and organic compounds. So then DTA technique has been widely used for the quality control of cement, textiles, glass, soil, explosives and resins. So in this video class, so we have seen the DTA, differential thermal analysis. So it's a method of recording difference in temperature between a substance and an inert reference material as a function of the temperature or time. So then we have seen the DTA curve. So in that, the generally sharp endothermic peaks gives idea of changes in crystallinity or fusion processes. Broad endothermic peaks signify the dehydration reactions. In most of the cases, physical changes give rise to endothermic curves, whereas chemical reactions like oxidation give rise to exothermic peaks. So then we have seen instrumentation of DTA. Under that, the different components of DTA apparatus are furnace, sample holder, DC amplifier, differential temperature detector, furnace temperature programmer, recorder and control equipment. So then applications of DTA also we have seen. So now I will stop at this stage. We will see in the next video class. So till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.